Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing? It's Alexander A. Manzoni with Manzoni in the Morning. Woo! How's everybody doing today? I know it's been a while since the last Manzoni in the Morning. It's been about a month. It's been a lot of shit going on. I've been getting a lot of writing done. And I'm ready. I'm ready to come at you with some new shit. A lot of new shit. All right. Let's start off with day 101 of the 100-Day Writing Challenge, which I wrote on 2/9/2019. It just past midnight on day 101 of the 100-Day Writing Challenge. It is amazing that I made it this far. Writing every morning, sometimes like now in the middle of the evening. What am I feeling? A small sense of pride. It used to be that I would only write a few times a month, but now I have this hot schedule. Still, after today, I am taking a short break, even though I know I won't be able to rest much. That's okay. Life isn't perfect, and neither am I. Neither are you. We can still seek to find our truths. I scroll up on Twitter and say, "What's the use? Who knoweth where this storied path shall lead through the whispering black forest? The desert of everlasting flame, the ocean of malevolent commotion. Either way, the results won't be what we expect. Always another surprise hiding with a ready blackjack in the far corner. These things, these thugs, they all fight dirty. No wonder it's so hard to stay clean around here. I will walk up to the bar and order another frothy golden beer from Munich. I'll need all the liquid courage I can get after tonight. But you won't be seeing me in the men's lavatory, stumbling. Not anymore. There is danger afoot, and one's guard must be kept up at the ready. No other motherfucker's gonna sneak up, smooth talk, take advantage of me. Jump me in an alley. I had enough of that in New Jersey. And Philly. The old days, they went so quickly. Not really. But looking back, it seems to feel that way. I can't believe I made it past 100 days. I said I was going to take a break after 100 days, but I didn't. And I'm still going. I think I'm on like day 124 or something like that. It's the most days I've ever written in a row. And I've been writing for over 20 years, so that says a lot. This next poem I wrote after watching a documentary on ancient civilizations, and there are people just fucking up ancient burial sites. So I got the idea for this poem. Don't turn that 10,000-year-old artifact into a double-headed dildo. Awaken from sleep into another night. The sun's presence or absence in the sky means little. The ground is churning as if there were giants under a blanket playing pillow fort at a slumber party. Everything is a storm, even the calm. Is that the bomb? No, really. Is it? When did you choose to light the fuse? Fate informed me you will lose 12 times before your greatest victory that the world will ever know of or see from thee. Lost souls wish to pilfer the prize, a hidden treasure chest filled to the brim with gold and jeweled antiquities. Indiana Jones would have no qualms against dropping from a raft out of an airplane into your proverbial country to spirit this bounty away from thee. It should be in a museum, for everyone around to know and explore. But instead, you kept the motherlode to yourself, your little select group of fake friends with fake eyelashes and a terrible sense of poise and balance, thanks to the 20 pounds of silicone inserted in the face, the ass, and chest. They delighted in the score. Zirna Carmichael Bevis carved a 10,000-year-old elephant scepter into a double-headed dildo to use and then later sell on her Etsy page. "Easy come, easy go," she said to her friends, giggling madly, all with their phones out and recording what amounted to a whole lot of nothing. Could they be learning, or are they simply using what's available to them in a flippant and depressingly asinine manner? Claire St. Spitzel got into an earthen amphora packed full of honey and wine. She climbed into it head first with her waterproof iPhone to get a taste and a great shot of what lay inside. The tall pot rocked back and forth with her sticking halfway out of it. "Someone forgot to get her Brazilian done," exclaimed Zirna, pointing her finger and her phone at the wardrobe malfunction in progress. "You shouldn't wear such a thin strip of material when your ass is like a gorilla that got into the dumpster behind my hairstylist's." Not that Claire could hear while submerged, but it was great for the live Instagram feed, the live tweet, the live Facebook, the live Twitch TV, live everything. Crash! The amphora explodes as Buffy, Bene Gajour, and Alexis Anusdouche teamed up for the double mint tip. Claire kicks her feet in a frenzy. Now she's screaming and calling upon the wrath of God. Not the actual God, but her father, the petrochemical tycoon named Godfrey. These genteel ladies were no better than an army of mandrills and baboons. Soon they would know the curse that would follow. Was it a Mycenaean ghost or a Minoan? Either way, it did not wish to be awakened so abruptly. Oh my God, their features, they warped, they grew ugly and ancient. But they got so many clicks and likes. Was it worth it in the end? Some deeds are best left undone, words left unsaid. Now these beautiful debutantes have become the living dead. And all those expensive cosmetics were for naught. Yeah. It always pisses me off when I'm watching these documentaries and they talk about people visiting these sites and just raiding them and taking whatever the hell they want out of them. You know, and Indiana Jones is an American hero, basically, a guy who just goes to other people's countries and takes their shit, reappropriates it for the West. It's not yours, bitch. Hands off. Leave the treasures of the ancients to the country of origin. Thank you very much. We're gonna do, what are we gonna do? It's gonna be called, Mirror Image. Another fork in the path on a road to where? Nowhere? The air is filled with a profusion of squealing tires stuck outside in the snow. Sentinels wearing flannel walk by. Monks with their heads lowered. Are they in prayer? Or do they not even care that so many are scrambling around? What have I found beneath the layer of snow? Be it a treasure hoard forgotten with the passage of time? No. It is a mirror, cracked deeply through the center. I am looking back at my own face, yet it seems to be a stranger. It is smiling at what I do not know. The mirror image extends a hand. Though apprehensive, I take it, and before you know it, I am pulled through to a new world that I can only begin to understand or comprehend. Lightning strikes everywhere. Volcanoes erupt, they dwarf the majesty of Vesuvius. Its effluents which buried Pompeii in Herculaneum on October 24th, 79 AD. The pyroclastic blast seems to be following me and my new reflective friend. He doesn't talk. Everything he shares with me in pantomime. Should we try to climb the mountain, there's less lava on the north side. My mirror image points up at the precipice, and a bolt of lightning struck him. His index finger became a conducting rod. Will we chance to meet God at the top, or will we drop from the summit and plummet to our ends? Thank you. Oh boy, let's get this going. This is called This Poetry Brings Me Where the Old Life Could Not. 2/21/2019. Where will my thoughts wander if I chance to allow them? There is benefit in this eternal exploration, a subconscious treasure hunt without a map or guide to influence what comes. Will I rise above, or will I fall further than I'd ever thought possible? That would be difficult to do with all my lifestyle changes. You will not see me try to set up a drug lab again. The results, they were not worth the risk. My determination is focused on other more positive things. This poetry, it brings me where the old life could not. It was a life that brought me immeasurable pain and unprecedented hardship. If I slip, it won't be to the degree that I did. I would rather live quietly than die of an overdose or in prison. They had to take everything from me before I strayed from the game. My partners in crime stole my phone, my drugs, blew up my mailbox, plotted against me. I was found guilty of conspiracy. I had failed in thinking I'd outwit them, and the crimes of my associates spilled over into my life. Midnight manhunt with dogs and helicopter. That night still haunts me, and I'm still on the edge, imagining disaster just around the corner. My anxiety is eating me away. I am my own worst enemy. This unchecked stress is what's probably going to kill me. Until then, I will continue to fill these pages with whatever comes. In the end, I believe I will rise above. Love will serve me. May it beget glory. Thank you. Now, we're gonna do a poem that is based on something that happened to me that I wrote about in the Spokane Story. The Spokane Story, which I'm about halfway done editing, and then when that's done, I'm gonna self-publish the motherfucker. Because I'm tired of people telling me to take this out. Oh, you need to do this. Edit yourself. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, this won't work. Get the fuck out of here. This book is coming out, and it's going to be raw as a motherfucker. And they're not going to like it in this town. They're probably going to write fucking articles about how wrong the Spokane Story got Spokane. But you know what? There's a lot of people who just don't want to believe that there's problems going on in this town, and they want to live in their little bubble, wall up in their little apartment, in their little house, and say, oh, well, I've never seen anything like that. Really? Have you driven through downtown lately? Anyway, this is called She Threw a Shoe at Me. 2/22/19. She threw a shoe at me. She really threw a shoe at me. The crazy tweaker who kept my pants threw a fucking shoe at me. About 5 years ago, I was on hard times. Went from New Jersey on down the line to Spokane. Didn't have much of a plan. Drifted around a few months while I worked out all the kinks. I obviously didn't think when I lent a pair of sweatpants to this junkie under a bridge by the river. I saw her shiver and tried to help. Might have overstepped my bounds. Didn't know all the ins and outs. When I woke up the next morning, she was nowhere to be found. And I was freezing. All I had were a few things in a couple of backpacks and duffel bags. I said, "What the fuck?" and went on with my life. Until a day or two later, I saw her with a drug dealer at the Safeway near Gonzaga. And she still had on my pants. All filthy. But what do you expect? She was sleeping in the dirt. I wanted a few words. They hung in my mouth, though I chose to expel them, knowing the strange situation it may cause. This is probably my last chance to say something, I thought before calling her out in public. I tried to be polite, but she acted like she didn't know what I was talking about, or who I was for that matter. "I need my pants back," I pleaded. "It's my only pair, and I froze my ass off that morning. I was wondering where you had gone." Abruptly, she went from her stern denial to a heightened state brought upon by meth and heroin. "Here, you fucker!" she yelled, bending over. Her dealer suggested I leave her alone or we might have to throw down. "Normally I would let this go," I said, "but I literally have nothing and really need those pants back." Instead of doing so, she unlaced her shoes. "What are you doing?" I asked. "These are brand new shoes," she said. "I just got them. You could sell them. I paid $40. Knowing these tweakers, I suspected she stole them. "I don't need a pair of shoes too small to fit," I said, realizing that she had pulled one off her foot and reeled back as if she were about to throw a shoe at me. Whoop! Who was I, George W. Bush, giving a speech in Iraq? I covered my head as it arced through the air, laces flying like two boneless, flailing arms. It narrowly missed, and she bent back over to load up another one. "Here, you fucker! Why don't you sell these and leave me alone forever?" She resounded. The customers and cashiers were all staring at me, aghast at the outrageous early morning brouhaha. I quickened my pace to take my leave, not taking any stinky used shoes with me. "You crazy goddamn bitch!" I yelled back over my shoulder. There was an important lesson here. It was good that I stuck up for myself, but sometimes you need to say, "Fuck it," and choose to let go. And I also learned that I can't save the world. And I had enough problems to deal with, getting mixed up with strangers, shady characters, random weirdos, and others, which simply served to drag me down further and complicate my life beyond what it already was. Fucked up. I should have known not to trust those encountered in the night, under a bridge or otherwise. A tear now wells in my eye. That is a true story. I never know what happened after that. But probably safe to say that she's still fucked up to this day. It's going to read Mr. Cohen's testimony. Good old Mr. Cohen going in front of Congress, saying all these lies, everything, he's telling the he's a liar, okay, don't believe him. Yeah, he's a liar, and because you needed the best liar to be the guy who's going to represent you, to lie to Congress, to lie to the country, to lie to everybody. Jesus Christ. I can't take this. That's why I have to write poetry, because otherwise I would just explode every day. Testimony, Mr. Cohen. The world is listening. The Republicans have done their best to stop it, but they couldn't. The story had to come out. Cohen has fallen on his sword, though seems like he may be rising. A weight lifted from his chest. He was sleeping with the fishes underwater. What gas shall escape when the body floats to the top? It might smell horrendous, but it is just what we needed to acknowledge. It had been rotting. With a little help from all the sewage pumped in from the water treatment plant. Is this what we want? We need to see how filthy politics can be. Behold the price of blind loyalty. They'll say anything to discredit him. These Republicans are running scared, unleashing their smoke screens. This is all just a plot to impeach the president. Good. May the wheels of justice move at an unprecedented pace. A lot of shit in the news, a lot of people get pissed off. I'm getting pissed off watching R. Kelly break down, crying and shit, screaming, like the most guilty person in the world. Madness. That's why I recommend art to everybody. Create. Do whatever it takes to find meaning and joy in your life. You know, to get out all that excess anger, stress, anxiety, whatever. It's helped me a lot, and I've had a lot of fucking problems in my past, so if it helped me, then it might help you even more. All right. Let's do one more. A preview of my new poem. This is called The Redemption of Scooter Reno. It's a From New Jersey to Hell poem, which is based in this universe I created a few years ago about a man who's a killer that dies and goes to hell, and he's up for and he's got to go to court and defend himself. So now I got this new guy, new character in a new place, kind of the same idea. Evil businessman goes to hell, and writing, trying to figure out if I can redeem his soul. Like, I don't even know if I can redeem this motherfucker right now. But we'll see what happens, you know. I've been writing this for about a month. It's over 35 pages, and it's going to be a lot longer. It's a poem that reads like a short story. Boom. The Redemption of Scooter Reno. A grizzled old man sits at the far end of the bar. The seat to his left and to his right were suspiciously empty. A businessman, Mr. Scooter Reno, with a Fendi briefcase, asked the bartender if there are any other available seats. "Sorry, Mac," said he. "Only those two open next to Duncan." "And is there any specific reason nobody is seated next to him? I've had a long goddamn day at the office, and I don't need a load of anybody else's shit." "Well, old Duncan is sort of a wild one, but he's been pretty calm as of the late." "Great. Well, I'll hold you and the owner responsible if anything goes wrong. Make me a Manhattan and send it down." The businessman grumbled and threw down his credit card. Open a tab. He grabbed a napkin and spread it over the chair to Duncan's right. Well, how's your night been? Asked Duncan. I am in no mood to converse with you, but if I did, I'd say I do not know where to begin. Duncan drained his glass of neat gin. Droplets cascaded down his white whiskery beard. It was just what Scooter Reno had feared, that an uncomfortable discussion be struck up. Oh, how'd I cut myself? Said Duncan. It must have been from a rough edge on the bar. He gripped his wrist and grinned at the businessman, revealing many missing teeth beneath the lips. You want to know something? Asked Duncan. Not really. You businessmen all look the same to me. Yeah, all of you old drunks look like my mother-in-law's prolapsed asshole. Well, what a goal I have achieved, resounded Duncan. Say, you think you can toss me a couple of bucks for another drink? I will if you get your ass off that seat and leave me alone. Sure thing, buddy. Get this old fart whatever he's having, said Scooter Reno to the bartender, who nodded in acknowledgement and moved to make the drink, which did not take much effort. The bartender slammed a tumbler of gin down in front of Duncan. Time for some fun, said he, pressing glass to lips heartily. Now, will you get up and leave me alone? Nah, the joke's on you, Rube. I should have known. Come on, you snake, throw me a bone here. Instead, Duncan drew near and exhaled a stink not known by the likes of mortal men. Can you get away from me? I would if I could. Should I tell you that I am, in fact, your guardian angel? You could tell me you're my boss in disguise and it wouldn't make a fucking difference to me. So, that's how it's gonna be. Scooter then reached over and shoved Duncan backwards. Choose your words and actions carefully. You do not know what's in store, Mr. Reno. How did you know my name? It's all part of the big game. Scooter rose from his stool and hurriedly drank his drink before tossing the bartender a $50 bill. Keep the change, which was strange because it was something he had never said. A feeling of intense dread set within the confines of Scooter's chest. Had he been here before in a dream? There was already a scream welling inside. Best not leave me behind, said Duncan, for I am your guide to the afterlife. Yeah, right, resounded Scooter as he made a beeline for the exit, and he left. The good Lord sent me to assist thee, said Duncan, coming from the rear, spilling a little gin on his distressed insulated overcoat. You cannot float the river, Styx. Believe me, I have seen a lot of people try. Scooter continued to deny what was happening. The world seemed so different than it was when he entered the bar. We are not too far from the gates of judgment. I thought you might want to find some internal peace first. What's the use of that, you drunken old sot? I'm only trying to help. Well, you could go to hell. Not me, Mr. Reno, but you? You had better know we are in limbo. You had a heart attack when you sat down. You lying bastard! Screamed Mr. Reno and turned around to go back in the bar. What he found was his own lifeless body, lying on the ground surrounded by patrons. One was attempting CPR, but she didn't get very far. The sight scarred Scooter Reno forever. But what use are scars in the great beyond? Scooter Reno cried out and began vomiting dust. I trust you believe what I've said now. How did this happen? I've always taken care of my health. I did more cardio than you would ever know. All it did was slowly approach of the Reaper. The streets here were paved with equal quantities of gold and bones. Gold on the east, bones in the west. Scooter did not seem at all impressed. What terrible secrets lie in wait on this developing quest? Well, that's like page 4 out of 35. Plenty more where that came from. Yep. I guess these kinds of stories just come from me thinking about, what happens when we die, and probably how bullshit the Christian pantheon is, heaven, hell, limbo, and all that. So I figured if you're in limbo, then you might be able to argue a case to get into heaven or hell. You argue well, you get into heaven. You argue poorly, you're going to hell. And if you don't do that great anyway, you fucking stay in limbo. And my version of limbo is fucked up. It's basically hell, except with less torture. Because we got all the people from hell that kind of hang out there at the courthouse. And so there's tons of fucking fucked up characters and weird fucking minotaurs and just crazy shit. A fucking Medusa prosecutor that always wears Versace shades, that kind of thing. Well, this has been a great podcast. I hope everyone's doing well and will continue to do well, and I hope to see you soon at a future show. I will be performing at the Spokane Earth Day, and that's going to be cool. So, yeah. This is Alexander A. Manzoni with Manzoni in the Mornings.